environment. Study class, I already told you, environment is not like other subject where you will cover the whole syllabus and then you will go and attend 3 or 4 or 5 questions. Environment is very variable subject, like syllabus keeps on changing. So only the things I'm teaching in class, if you will just go with these things, you can do 2 or 3 questions, but don't be surprised if there will be questions from outside, because every time they just put question from some new topics, as I told you yesterday. So what I'm teaching in class, I think that is enough for the core part of environment. Rest of the time, you no need to search from here and there. Just give that time in other subject. Like DI, you can do research, teaching, communication, higher education. These all subjects are having a core syllabus. Like 4 questions are from the core syllabus only. So rather than giving your time in environment and searching from here and there, it's better to allot this time for other subject. Okay. So screen is visible to you all.
Yes, sir.
So this is the syllabus yesterday. I don't know where I lost my connection, but yesterday I was explaining like how this syllabus will be comes under 4 or 5 headings. So I will write again those headings. First one is ecology. Ecology means what is the ecosystem, how our Earth is a sustainable planet and how our Earth don't depends on some other planet like this. Ecology is complete system of ecosystem that we are going to study. Next is environmental issues. Now see, under this environmental issues, we are going to study this 3rd unit, this 4th unit, and this last 2nd unit, environmental protection area. All this we will cover it under this environmental issues. Next is human development and environment, millennium development and sustainable development goals. So I will write here goals. So what are these goals? Actually, in 1970s or 1980, when urbanization starts, so people without thinking of environment, they started blind development without thinking of environment. So around 1995, 1990, when people realized that we are also losing ozone, we are also losing our oxygen in our environment. So after that, people become slightly aware of the environmental issues, and the United Nations passed goals like this should be our goals for environment, like we will reduce carbon dioxide emission by 10% in next 10 years. So 2 types of goals are there. One is millennium development goals and other is sustainable development goals. Next is energy resources. And at the end, current affairs. So this is the syllabus. This is the 5 unit we need to do. So let's start with ecosystem. So what is an ecosystem? So ecosystem, it's a functional unit of nature. Why we are calling it as a unit? Because as you can see, this is our Earth. Earth is completely sustainable on itself. Earth don't need any support from Mars. It's not like alien will come from Mars and they will just give some resources to Earth, and by help of those resources we will survive. It's not like that. Earth is completely sustainable. Earth needs only one thing from outside, and that thing is
Oxygen.
oxygen. Trees are making from inside only, no? In Earth. Outside Earth, we are only using sunlight.
Sun.
So sunlight we are taking from outside, and with the help of that sunlight is the only source of energy in our earth. That sunlight energy, plants are using the sunlight energy to produce food, and that food all the herbivores are eating, and then all the carnivores are feeding on herbivores. So this is a kind of cycle. The ultimate source of energy is sun. So it's like uh, sun is only source of energy like we have. All the other energy are somewhere connected to sun. So in our Vedas, it is said that sun is like our father and earth is like our mother. So just like father and mother, sun and earth, only because of these two we are surviving. Sun is giving us energy, all the resources, and earth is utilizing those resources in order to feed us, in order to make us survive. So ecosystem is a functional unit of nature. Why functional unit? Because just like nature, just like earth, an ecosystem is also self-sustainable. Like this is a pond ecosystem. So this is self-sustainable. Like fish is there, fish will get its food from this ecosystem only, then some birds will feed on this fish. So it's like a self-sustainable thing. For example, a forest don't need a human interruption for its survival, for its existence. Without human interruption, a forest is very well grown on its own. So this is why an ecosystem is known as functional unit of nature. And what's happening in this ecosystem? Living organisms interact with each other and also with the physical environment. These are living organisms. For example, just take a forest ecosystem. This is a forest ecosystem. This forest ecosystem don't needs any help from outside. It's self-sustainable, and two components are there. One is living organism, another is non-living organism. Living organism means trees, animals in the forest, and non-living organism means soil of the forest and sunlight available in that forest. So these two components interact with each other. How these components are interacting with each other? The soil of forest will determine which type of plants will be there in the ecosystem. So that's why these two always interact with each other, and living organism also interact with one another. For example, herbivores will be depend on plants, and carnivores will be depend on herbivores. So this is a kind of interaction. Next is two components are there, biotic component and abiotic component in an ecosystem. So biotic component, what are biotic component? Biotic component are living organism present in an ecosystem is biotic component of that ecosystem, and abiotic component are non-living organism present in that ecosystem is abiotic component. So our earth is known as a global ecosystem. The biggest ecosystem is our earth, is our biosphere, because everything is interacting with each other and is self-sustainable. Okay, now this is a new term, stratification. What is stratification? So if you will visit a forest, you will see a vertical layer. For example, if you are just observing a forest, this is a previous year question actually. If you will go and see a forest, first you will see some grasses will be there, then some herbs, shrubs, and bushes will be there, then small trees, then big trees. So these are vertical classification according to height. So this vertical classification is known as stratification. Stratification.
Sir,
Yes.
the element element of this stratification is also important?
No, element of stratification is not important. It's just like trees, shrubs, herbs, grasses. It's just for understanding. Everywhere it will be something else. Okay, just this term stratification, it's important. So first we will talk about Earth, the biggest ecosystem. So in Earth, we have atmosphere. Atmosphere means, what is atmosphere?
For our surrounding in which all the things are included, like what is, how is
Yeah,
going on.
for example, this is our Earth. So there is a blanket of gases that surrounds our Earth. It is known as atmosphere. So only because of this blanket of gases, we are able to inhale oxygen, and this is not the only function of atmosphere. One important function is to provide oxygen and carbon dioxide to animals and plants respectively. But this is not a single function of this atmosphere. Atmosphere have many other functions. For example, if sunlight, some UV rays is coming from sun, so this atmosphere will block the harmful UV rays. And which gas is mostly active in blocking the UV rays? Ozone. You heard about that?
Yes, sir. Ozone layer.
Yeah, ozone. So other gases are also there, but ozone is having most important role in blocking that UV rays. Next is, if, for example, you all know our solar system is uh, always in motion. So sometimes what happens, small asteroid means broken part of any planet, any stars, they came to our Earth, and if this atmosphere will not be present, these asteroids will directly collide with the Earth and will cause a heavy damage. So only because of this atmosphere, these asteroids cannot directly collide with our Earth. These asteroids directly, like because of friction of gases there, they start burning outside atmosphere only. So these are some of the function of atmosphere. Now the important part, which is important from examination points of view. First, the layers of atmosphere. So first layer is troposphere. Okay, troposphere is like from our Earth to 10 kilometers vertically upward. If you will just draw a line of 10 kilometers straight from your head, then up to 10 kilometers, the layer is troposphere, and it contains around 80% of all the air. So it is troposphere. Next is stratosphere. So stratosphere, it is after that 10 kilometer, it's like spread for 40 kilometer. So what is the distance of stratosphere from Earth?
50 kilometers?
Not 50 kilometer, 10 kilometer only. Na? After 10 kilometer, stratosphere will start, and it will spread
Okay.
next 40
Yes.
kilometer. Okay. Now next layer is
Sorry,
meso.
within 10 kilometers, it is troposphere, sir.
Sorry.
Within 10 kilometers, it is considered as a troposphere. Within,
Yeah, within 10 kilometer, it's all troposphere.
okay.
Okay. Okay. So next, after stratosphere, so stratosphere, this layer is only responsible for absorption of UV rays. So UV rays will come up to stratosphere. Like from here, UV rays will come, and these rays will be stopped in stratosphere. So two previous year question regarding this stratosphere or layers of atmosphere. First question was, sorry, ozone is present in which layer? So here it is written stratosphere absorbs UV rays. So ozone must be present in stratosphere. Okay. Next question is, in which layer of atmosphere we breathe? So what will be the answer?
Troposphere.
What?
Troposphere.
Yeah, troposphere. Because troposphere is 80% of all the air present in troposphere, and it's the only layer where all the life is there. Next one is mesosphere and thermosphere. So mesosphere expand for next 50 kilometer. And after that mesosphere, next is thermosphere. So thermosphere is 300 kilometer away from the earth. So these all are layers of atmosphere. This mesosphere is usually if a meteoroid or asteroid will come, so what will happen? 90% chances is that it will be destroyed in thermosphere. And if it will survive the layer of thermosphere, it will surely destroyed in mesosphere. Only 0.12% asteroid or meteoroid they came to Earth's surface, but they also become very small due to these atmospheric layers. So next is one more question: which layer out of these are having most density? Density means which layer will having more dense air.
So stratosphere?
Why
Mesosphere.
stratosphere?
Mesosphere.
Okay, just think from the perspective of gravity. Which layer will be more dense air? Dense air means highest number of air particles.
Then troposphere, sir.
Yeah, troposphere, very good. Because troposphere is closest to Earth, gravity will be like at the peak here, there will be a great force of attraction. So most of the air will be in troposphere. As we will move upward, what will happen? Gravity will decrease and ultimately the force of attraction will decrease. So air particle will try to come in the troposphere and only few particle will be there as we go upward in the atmosphere. That's why air pressure will increase or decrease when we go upward.
Decrease.
Air pressure will decrease, and this is the one of the reason why, like if some person they are going for mountain trekking or mountain climbing, suddenly they start feeling breathless. It's because when we go upward, the air pressure decrease, amount of air decrease, so it's hard to breathe. So that's why those people who are from some hilly areas, they have greater number of our red blood cells, hemoglobin in their blood, so that even in low air quantity, they can survive. Okay, so this is our hydrosphere. Hydrosphere means the layer where water is present. So this is distribution of water on Earth. First, see this image. Out of 100%, 97% water is in your ocean and is of no use. The remaining 3% is 22% groundwater and 77% of water is encapsulated in ice cap, glacier, and inland seas. Out of this 1%, now lakes are 61%, atmospheric and soil moisture is 39%, and river is less than 4%. So no need to cram this. This is just for information, just for introduction of hydrosphere. So what is hydrosphere? Hydrosphere just is layer of water. Next is lithosphere. So atmosphere was layer of air. Hydrosphere is layer of water. Next is lithosphere. Lithosphere is layer of earth. The earth crust in which we are living is known as lithosphere. The the middle part of atmosphere and hydrosphere, or the outer part of earth's crust. For example, this is your earth. So we live on surface of earth. So this is lithosphere where we are living. Next is biosphere. So what is biosphere? Biosphere is the region in which life can exist. It's consists of three parts. One is atmosphere, one is hydrosphere, and other is lithosphere. Atmosphere means air, hydrosphere means water, and lithosphere means rock and sediments, the earthen part. So where these three met, there is only possibility of life. So biosphere is made up of three layers: a part of atmosphere, a part of hydrosphere, and a part of lithosphere. And this is the only part in Earth where life will exist. You will not see, like for example, in atmosphere, after 10 kilometer, you will not see any living organism. Similarly, in Earth crust, after you will go so much deep, you will not see living organisms. Similarly, in hydrosphere also, you can give example of sea, but sea is just above the ground and below the atmosphere. So sea also comes under this biosphere. So is it clear? Is there any confusion in this?
So
Yes.
can you explain lithosphere again? So
Uh,
basically, I just want to know that if ocean is above the earth, I mean above the crust, then how lithosphere, which means lithosphere is below the ocean, right?
no, lithosphere is the part of Earth everywhere. Like the part of Earth in which I and you are sitting, it's like below the sea also, it's in the mountain also. Lithosphere is part of Earth. Hydrosphere is water layer like sea, river, all these things. Atmosphere is layer of air.
Okay,
So
sir.
yeah, so life will only be possible where these three components will be there and where these three components meet. Like where these three components will meet, it will be known as biosphere. Okay. Now everybody understood this term ecosystem. What is ecosystem?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have various type of ecosystem. The in one term, if you want to explain the ecosystem that is self-sustainable. Now, three types of ecosystem are there: terrestrial ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem, and man-made ecosystem. So terrestrial ecosystem are like which those ecosystem which are mostly in the lithosphere, which are mostly in the earthen part. For example, forest, grassland, desert. Now it's not like that कि वहाँ पे there will be no atmosphere, there will be no hydrosphere. In terrestrial ecosystem, atmosphere will be there, in terrestrial ecosystem, water will be there, but it will be mostly on the earthen part. Aquatic ecosystem will be mostly inside a hydrosphere, for example, pond, lake, wetland, river, estuary. You know what is estuary?
Sir, it is somehow related to the streams of river?
No, estuary is related to sea. For example, if someone from you is from coastal region near the sea, so if this is sea, and this is the earthen part. This is the earthen part, and this is sea. So during high tide and low tide, what happen? During high tide, the water level of sea will increase, and water will pass through this earthen part. After the high tide will over, some water will be trapped here. So that water is not completely like sea, and that water is not completely like river. So in these places, they develop their own ecosystem. So this ecosystem is known as estuary. Understood? Like the junction between earth and sea, there will be some hybrid ecosystem.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next is man-made ecosystem. So man-made ecosystem are crop fields and aquarium which are generated by humans. And once they ask this question, like which of these ecosystem are not true ecosystem. So which out of these ecosystem will not be true ecosystem?
The man-made,
Man-made ecosystem, because not self-sustainable. Okay, now let's talk about abiotic component and how this abiotic component can impact the biotic component. Nowadays, you all know, like there are news like in Rajasthan, the temperature crossed 51 degrees Celsius. In Iraq, the temperature crossed 66 degrees Celsius. So you can imagine 66 degrees Celsius, how much this temperature is. If the temperature will more increase by 20 degrees Celsius, it will be around 86. So water start boiling in 86 degrees Celsius, water start boiling around 100 degrees Celsius. So it's like we cannot imagine what's going to happen in next 15-20 years. So abiotic component have a very high impact on our life. All these components, wind, sunlight, soil, temperature, atmosphere, and water. All these abiotic components have definitely a very great role in our life, in our uh, developing a ecosystem. So these are our abiotic component. First is temperature. So temperature, you all know the measurement of hotness and coldness in the area is known as temperature. So temperature is very much important. Temperature only decide which type of animal will be present and which type of plants will be present. And I have seen this like even in street dogs. Like I'm from hilly area, and in my place the temperature is not that much. It's a kind of Himalayan region. So there the street dogs are having fur, like with lots of hairs and all. Now, if I will go towards the plain areas like Dehradun, Haridwar, and next Delhi and Punjab, you will see dogs without hair, dogs without fur. So these species of dogs and other than dogs, species of plants, other than other species of animals are all decided by temperature up to an extent. For example, in Antarctica, you will see polar bear, some other species which are having body to survive in that temperature. So what's important in this temperature? Temperature on land varies seasonally. It gradually decreases from equator to the poles and plains to the mountain. It ranges from sub-zero levels to greater than 50 degrees Celsius. Now, just one important thing you need to know. No need to these are just example, like mango trees cannot grow in temperate countries. There is no snow leopard in Kerala forest. Tuna fishes are rare beyond tropical latitude. This is like only because of temperature we can see animals in different places. It's just for example. Now, what you need to know, it's like how temperature increase or decrease. Just searching for a blank place. Okay, now see here. This is our Earth and this is equator. So in which part of the Earth there will be maximum temperature?
The southern,
Which part? Central part or peripheral part?
central part.
Central part. Why?
I don't know, sir. Like I have read somewhere that sun moves from like equator to south pole or then from north pole. So
Yeah,
I'm assuming that initially it will be like in equator only. So that's why.
yeah, you are correct only. Just a minute. I will just draw that. I think it will be. Okay. Now, why equator is having maximum temperature? Now, see, this is sun. So, if sunlight will come to our Earth, this is the shortest distance between sun and Earth is our equator. Now, see, if you will just go and draw a line like this line and this line. So which line is shorter? This previous line is shorter. So distance from equator to the sun is the shortest distance between our Earth and our sun. When we go towards pole, the distance will increase. And because of this increase in distance, the temperature will increase or
Less.
decrease.
Reduced.
The temperature will decrease. If you are sitting near your gas, if you are sitting near your stove, the nearer you go, there will be more hotness. If you will go backward, the temperature will decrease. Similarly, equator is more close to sun. So highest temperature is near equator only. And if you will move towards the pole, the temperature will decrease. So this is why temperature near the equator is highest. Now some classification of Earth you need to know. If this is your equator central part of the Earth, okay, let it assume as central part of the Earth is slightly upper side, I know, but let's assume this as most central part of the Earth, equator. Okay, now equator is at 0 degree. So these are the measurement of Earth degrees. So equator is at 0 degree. So if you will go towards 23.5 degree towards the upper side, Which line is this?
So is it Tropic of Cancer?
Yeah, Tropic of Cancer. And this zone, similarly, it's same in downside also, 23.5 degree downside, and this is
Capricorn.
Tropic of Capricorn. Very good. So these zones from equator to 23.5 degree upper side and from equator to 23.5 degree downside up to Tropic of Cancer upper side and up to Tropic of Capricorn downside, this zone is known as tropical zone. And
So sir,
it
this
is,
0 degree, okay. So this
yeah, yeah,
0 degree, I mean the equator zone is also come under tropical zone only.
yeah. This whole zone, because sunlight will be most in this zone, like upper side and lower side, both are tropical zone. Okay, don't be confused. This one is separate tropical zone upper side and this one is also separate tropical zone. So both will combine to form a greater tropical zone. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the most prosperous zone in our earth. For example, Amazon forest and all these all are present in tropical zone. And what is the reason behind that? What do you think? Why is it so?
Sir, because I think there is atmosphere, biosphere, and lithosphere both present.
One point is that the atmosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere is very balanced in this tropical zone. Other is, I told you, sunlight is will be maximum in the equator and will be maximum in the tropical zone. So as I already told you, sunlight is the only source of energy in our earth. So these zones have maximum energy. So with time, they develop the ways. Develop the ways means the zone develop the plant which are using that energy, animals which are feeding on that plants. So maximum energy means maximum prosperity. Next is temperate zones. Up to 23.5 degree to 66.5 from upper side and lower side also.
Sir, are you
Yes,
moving your finger?
it's not visible.
Okay, right now it is. It was paused. Okay, it is visible.
Okay, now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
okay, so from 23.5 to 66.5, the zone is temperate zones. Temperate zones, and this is also temperate zones. And this circle from upper side, this line is known as Arctic Circle. And this line will be known as Antarctic
Fantastic.
Circle. Okay. So after the 66.5, polar zone will start. Now see how much sunlight or temperature can affect our Earth. You can see which is the most prosperous zone, that is tropical zone, and which zone is having lowest biodiversity. That is our
Polar, sir.
polar
Our
zone.
polar.
Polar zone. In polar zone, you know, near poles, no much species is there, no much vegetation is there. Organisms are just living there with some adaptation because there is no sunlight. No sunlight means no much energy. So tropical zone, then temperate zones, then polar zone. Okay. Okay, now this you need to remember two types of animals are there. Eurythermal and sternothermal. Okay, eurythermals means which can tolerate a wide range of temperature. For example, they can also survive in 10 degrees Celsius and they can also survive in 55 degrees Celsius. Example of one eurythermal.
सर मे बी दिस क्या बोलते हैं उसको सर कुर्मा कछुआ
Tortoise is there, but
Tortoise,
why no need to go that far. Just see yourself. We can also survive in 10 degrees Celsius, and humans are also surviving in 55 degrees Celsius. All the mammals, like for example, dogs can also survive in 10 degree, can also survive 25 degree. There will be some problem, but they will not. It's not like they will die suddenly. These animals are eurythermal. Like we also are very active in summer. We also are very active in winter. Other are stenothermal. So stenothermals are those animals which can only survive a narrow range of temperature. For example, these two animals, crocodile and snake. Whenever there will be too much coldness, these animals will go in hibernation. These animals cannot survive. So these are stenothermal animals.
Sorry, sir, your screen is not visible.
Screen is not visible.
okay, now it is visible sir.
Yes, now it's visible.
Okay. Okay. Next, abiotic factor is water. So productivity and distribution of plants is dependent on water. This also we know apart from weather. If you are in a tropical region, if there is no water, there will be no productivity. So apart from sunlight, you also need water for a good biodiversity, for good production of plant and like availability of animals.
Sir, sorry, sir. Sir, now also screen is not visible.
Okay, just a minute.
Actually, your screen is presenting, but it is not presenting the PDF.
Okay, PDF is not visible.
Yeah. No,
Yes,
sir, not
Now,
visible.
now it's stopped the presenting board.
Yeah, now I stopped. I will just open it again. Okay, now is it visible?
Only showing presenting.
Not it.
Okay, the picture is not visible.
No, sir, not visible.
logo of MDYA is visible.
Your logo on.
Okay, now also not visible.
No sir.
Same as this, sir.
Okay, okay, then sorry for the inconvenience. We will stop here. Tomorrow we'll continue from this abiotic factor water.
Sir,
Yes.
In how many days we will complete this enrollment? Like approx.
4 or 5 days.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
Okay.
sir, if you are available in afternoon time, you can take.
Okay. Afternoon, actually, I'm not available. After this 9 or 10 o'clock, I have work and then I will be busy till 5 or 6. So in
Okay,
night it
sir.
might be possible, but this is the only time where I can take comfortably, like morning.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay,
Sir, is
thank
it
you.
okay for early morning if possible?
I'm sorry,
Early morning, sir, at least 5 to 6. That's good.
5 to 6. 5 to 6, it's also not that much feasible for me because it's very late night when I go to sleep. It's around 11, 12, 1. So not that much possible.
Okay, sir. This time is also fine. Thank you, sir.
Okay, it is 8:45 to 9:45, or can we do at 8:30?
Yes, sir.
Sure,
We can do.
So 8:30 to 10, then in 1.5 hours, then 3 and 4 classes we will finish everything. Okay, so from tomorrow we'll meet at 8:30.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.